All right. So, yep, sorry, little miscommunication on our part. We thought we were going to see all your lovely faces in person, but here we are. For those of us who don't know us, I'm Joanna.
I'm Alonzo.
And
Michelle just came in.
Perfect timing. So we will try to catch up here. So I'm going to let Alonzo and Michelle kind of talk about our role in the transaction. Just a little brief overview of what title insurance is and why we are important. I'm going to put a flyer on the screen. And then after that, I'll go into some farming tools and then we will open it up for any questions. So Alonzo, if you want to take the floor here.
I'm sitting. Morning, everybody.
Good
Can
morning.
you hear us?
Yes.
Great.
Good morning.
Okay, real quick.
Just keep talking about
Okay.
it.
I'm like going, where are we? Anyway, real quick on title insurance. So everyone kind of gets an idea of what title insurance is and what we do. I'm not going to go over every 7 reasons here why you need title insurance. I'll give you kind of a brief overview of when you sell a piece of property, either representing the listing or the buying end of it, you get title insurance. And what the title insurance does, it basically searches the chain of title. So basically we're talking about the history of the property, okay? And so the history of the property we're looking for, I'll give you examples. When we do title insurance, we are looking for maybe unpaid property taxes. We are looking for liens, judgments, child support liens, bankruptcies, lis pendants. There's all sorts of liens, but we actually read the PRs and go over that with you. We send you kind of an email, kind of updating you what we have found on the title report. And we also mention it as, hey, this is a red flag. This needs immediate attention. But there are 2 kinds of policies. There's the owner's policy, which normally the seller pays for. And then if you're buying and your buyer is taking out a loan, there's the lender's policy, which protects the lender's position on title. So basically, these are researched. These are title insurance. Think of it as like, okay, I've got to apply for insurance and make sure that the seller can deliver title to my buyer free and clear with no issues. And that's what we do in the title insurance end of it. We look for any red flags and we make sure that the buyer who ends up with the owner's policy, because normally in California, Southern California, the seller pays for the owner's policy and the lender's policy is normally paid for by the buyer. And so there are 2 different fees on there. You've got the lender policy fee, and then you've got the owner's policy. And like I said, that's paid for by the owner. We require a statement of information also from the sellers. And that's kind of a brief 10-year history about them. So we can cross-reference that against the property to make sure there are no underlying liens, no child support liens, no IRS liens, any clouts on title.
And that's something I know you guys have all been told that, but getting the SI up front it's just a lifesaver for title, making everything just streamlined. Good thing to just have a electronic copy on your computer. If you need hard copies, we can get them for you too. But an SI is really great to have up front.
Yeah.
And
basically, go ahead, guys.
What was the question?
Can you repeat what an SI stands for?
Oh, the statement of information.
Statement of information. Okay, thank you.
And it's a big long form that's got all kinds of questions, and the clients are never real happy about having to fill it out because it's got a lot of personal information, but it helps because especially California, you have, a Smith or a Gonzalez or a common name that you see a lot in California, and it eliminates. So many a times you have liens that'll pop up on a file and it's not even their liens. So we need that SI to clear that stuff.
A lot of common names with my my relatives, Hernandez, Gomez, all that stuff. So
There we go.
we need a statement of information to remove those liens at times, but keep in mind, the statement of information are for sellers, not for the buyers.
Yeah.
So those are required when you're taking a listing. I recommend you take a statement of information. When you take the listing, get that out of the way, and then you order your title report through us, and then we kind of attack it before you go into escrow. But what we do also is work closely with your escrows, and we make sure that the demands, meaning we have a loan on there, a deed of trust and a first trust deed, and say we have a credit line, even though the people haven't used the credit line, we're going to need 0 demands or demands on those in escrow to do the payoffs. And then once we get all that information and we get pretty much clear to close title, then the funds are usually wired to escrow or to us to do the payoffs on those liens. And when we close escrow, we basically get a title policy to your buyers. About 2 to 3 weeks after the close of escrow, they will receive a title policy, which is their insurance policy, on that property, which will last for the life of how long they own it. So it's title insurance forever. And a lot of times, say owners take it, in joint tenancies, husband and wife, community property. A lot of times they go, hey, we want to put it in a trust. You will still be insured. Your insurance policy is still in effect, even though you transferred from community property, husband and wife, to the trust. So you can reassure them of that. And then Joanna's going to pop up pretty much what a title report looks like when we get it, and then we actually read it and send it over to you.
Any questions so far? Easy group.
Okay, so so bear with me for a second here, guys.
Any questions, anybody, regarding the process?
And I want to comment also why Joanna's doing that. So, every property is different and case by case. So as opportunities come up with you guys, if you have questions and want to do one-on-ones, just let us know. We're happy to get with you one-on-one. We don't expect you to know everything in the title process from A to Z, but that's what we're here for. But reach out to us individually. We're happy to walk you through it when it's time. And now we're going to put musical chairs and bring Joanna back in.
So I'll just go through this real quick. So when you guys order a title report through us, you're going to get an email that looks like this from our title unit. I'm going to say thank you to Amanda Olivas because we are using one of her recent PRs. And there'll be an attachment at the top with your PDF version and any plotted easements. Then what we're going to do is go one step further for you guys. We try to do this as soon as possible when we get the PR, but depending if we have to confirm something or time of day it's received, we may be a few hours after you've received it from the title unit. So if you're wondering why you're getting multiple emails, it's because you're getting an initial email with the PR and then our review. So again, I had to forward this from my other email. So normally the attachments would be at the top, but you're going to see a PDF version of your preliminary title report. This particular property had no plotted easements. So there would be plotted easements attached here. For this particular PR review, we had some Mellorews and something regarding the legal description. So that's why these are also attached. So if you have any kind of red flags or anything we feel like is very important, we're going to sort of make it front and center for you guys. So I used this one because of the Mellorews. So if you have any properties, you can see Amanda's got quite a few on here. I'm going to go ahead and get the process started to get that information from you as soon as I see it. So I will either have information for you here, or you'll see it highlighted that I'm waiting on a call back. Mellorews can take up to 48 hours, sometimes a few more days, depending on what department I'm trying to reach. But we will go that extra mile for you guys and get that information for you in regards to maturity dates. You're going to get your summary here, property type, vesting, you know, those are the most important. It's going to break down your policy. If you had any red flags, we would list them up at the top. I am hoping everybody's seeing my screen here. We're going to note whether there's plotted easements or not, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty for you guys. So this PR had some delinquent taxes and an open deed of trust. So that's going to be what Alonzo was just talking about as far as needing to be addressed in escrow here. CC&Rs will list the items for you. This one had a particular parking space, and then 10 out of 10 times, again, we're going to need that statement of information. If your property is in a trust, we usually require a copy of the trust or a trust cert if the parties are alive. So you may be wondering, okay, item 2, item 23, how do I view these? All of our PRs have what we call a live look summary. And basically this is everything you need right here at your fingertips. So what we're doing is we're pulling out the meat, we're pulling out the red flags, we're pulling out the highlights for you guys in our email, but you're going to get a full picture. Like this is a condo, so you've got all these matters. Those are not, you know, those are something to review, but those are not going to create an issue with your title or your transfer of title to the buyers. So that's why those are not in the RPR review specifically.
And when you click on that link, go up to on the actual PR, when we brought up the statement of information, there's a blank forms. Right there, there's statement of information form, affidavit. There's several different forms that you may need depending on the transaction. So just know that that's all at your fingertips.
Did my screen transfer for you guys so you can
Can
actually
you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you're all, again, yeah, we can always send this statement. Sometimes we attach it if it's like a red flag requirement, but yeah, just another tool that Ticor kind of stands apart from others is this live look summary. Here you have the trust cert form. Again, if it's in a trust, you've got that right there. This affidavit, that's a lot of Riverside properties. I think that's usually a requirement for Riverside, maybe not all the cities, but I usually see that as down here requirements 1, 2, and 3. So, and you know, this one's usually an HOA, but all of the items I referenced in that email are going to be available here. And if you ever see a blue hyperlink, you know that you can click on that to actually view that particular document.
And on the electronic preliminary title report you're seeing here in yellow, sometimes there'll be ones that are in red, which are basically a higher, you know, more
so
points.
if you have like a solar statement or a credit line or a tax lien, those are going to be marked in red because those are really a red flag. I mean, solar is just dealt with in escrow, but they are going to highlight that in a different color. And same thing up here. If you had delinquent taxes, it would show in red. And you know, just an extra point of perspective for you to take a look at this item is what they're doing. So that's kind of breaks down that process as far as what we're going to do for you guys.
Any questions or?
Any questions, anybody on title insurance?
It's a lot. We understand that. So we're not trying to overwhelm you. We're just trying to say we're here to make it simple.
Nope.
No,
Okay.
easy crowd.
So again, like Michelle said, we're always available for one-on-ones, or as you're actually working in order, then you're going to have those questions. So we get this is just kind of a summary. So I will now going to go into farming, if that's all right with everybody. I've done quite a few demos for you guys, so I'm not going to take up too much time actually walking through each, you know, how to use each program, but more of a highlight. So if you guys can kind of think about how you want to farm, then I can hook you up with the best tool to do that, to execute, excuse me. So like, I don't know, can you guys see Ticor Title on your screen? Did it switch over for me?
Yeah.
It did, yes.
Okay. So basically I'm just bringing up my home pages right here. I had a flyer for you guys, so I can share that with Ashley once we're done, and she can push that out to you guys. So you've got kind of a snapshot. So Ticor Online, I bring this up because we have a Ticor Elite. It's associated with this webpage. So if you guys want to get out in the field, you want to walk a farm, Ticor Elite is the app for you. So it's going to allow you to drop all your farms right in there. It's going to pull up an organized list for you guys. And you can make notes. I think the last demo we did was Ticor Elite. So, you know, if you're out in the field, you're knocking on doors, then the Ticor Elite is the app for you. If you guys are, did I switch?
Is there a charge for that?
No charge. This is a farming tool that comes through Ticor.
Great, thanks.
And then, so now I'm going to shift over to Title Toolbox. Hopefully my screen changed. I think a lot of you, well, I don't know how many are on this, but I know I've done a lot of training on this for you guys. So I think some of your agents are already using this. This is a very statistical based program. So they have a statistics tab where you can get into pulling turnover rate. This is good if you're looking for kind of one-off leads like notice of default, divorces, affidavits of death. Those do have a little bit of a price tag. They're 5 cents. I think affidavits are 50 cents. And then you can go one step further and pull a phone number or an email for 5 or 7 cents. So you can do property profiles on this. I think this is one of our most user-friendly programs. So if you're not really sure where you want to start with farming, I think Title Toolbox is a great place to start. And how I'm going to kind of leave this is just to maybe get your wheels turning. And then, like I said, I'm going to shoot that flyer over to Ashley and you'll have my email. And then to move forward, it's best if I can connect with you one-on-one and we can do a Zoom call on any of the programs that you decide to use, one or all of them. Like I said, it really depends on your attack on farming. How are you going to farm? Are you cold calling? I've got data for that with Toll Realty Resource. So if you're just like jumping in the game and you want, 92024 phone numbers, then all you got to do is shoot me an email and I'll send you a list. So, or let's say you've got, you've got a property, but you need a buyer. We've also got renter data. So we can farm renters in a specific zip code. And, if you're trying to farm for a buyer, trying to convert somebody there, we have a lot of people paying a lot of high rents that might be qualified to buy. So keep that in mind as well. And then where's my, sorry, let me see. What was the last one? Oh, okay. So I have one other tool. Let me just pull this up for you guys. It's called Ticor Tech Farm. Hopefully you guys can see this. So this is going to be, if you've got somewhat of a budget for farming, we recommend this tool if you've got a dedicated farm area. Like let's say you're working a specific carrier route. We do have agents who farm for carrier routes. You would input your farm into this. And you'd say you wanted notice of default leads. You're going to get an alert every 2 weeks if there's a notice of default within that farm. I think it's $19.99. So this one's a little bit more if you've got somewhat of a farming budget. And if you really wanted to get into those life events, deaths, marriage, divorce, it's going to be, I believe it's $49.99. I might be $39, but I can show you all of that if you're really interested in this. But this is if you've really got a dedicated farm area and a target market that you want to pay attention to notice of defaults and life events, then this is going to be the program for you because it's all automated. You do get it's free alerts if you have an owner change. But if that's kind of your direction and I can't stress enough, it's important to already have kind of a target market, then Ticor Tech Farm is going to be a third option for you guys.
And I know it sounds probably a little overwhelming because here we did
Yeah.
hit like 3 different things, but every one of you are going to treat your business individually, and the way you choose to run and manage your business and how you choose to farm and market is the reason we're throwing out 3 different things. Everybody's a little different. We want to make sure that we support and have the right tool for each one of you. So just get with us, let us know if there's something in particular or a special niche that you're chasing, and we'll help you decide which and where to go with. So any other questions, guys? We don't want to take too much time, but not to blow through all of it so quickly, but anything else? Anyone?
No, we're gonna bring
So-
up Ticor agent. Go ahead.
Something I just want to clarify. So for those of you who have maybe not been on these trainings for Title Toolbox before, and Joanna, correct me if I'm wrong, but Title Toolbox is a really good way to help you narrow down your farm, and you can filter by like people who've maybe owned the house for 10 years or longer, or people who maybe it's their
Yes.
second home or things like that. And so that can help you narrow down, okay, if I want to farm and target people who've lived in their home for 10 years or longer, Ticor Toolbox can help you narrow down those people. And then from there, you can send out your flyers and your door knocking, and really, it's a really good way to establish and kind of niche down, okay, who do I want to focus on and where do I find them?
Yes.
So if you're a new agent, and I'm sure, you know, Joanna and Michelle, you guys, I'm sure have great advice for people who have maybe never done a farm before or need to revive their
Absolutely.
farm or and all that stuff. So I'll let you guys help our newer agents with that. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify, it's a really cool tool, I think.
Yeah,
So
thank you. And I know, not to sound like a broken record, I know there's probably at least 6 or 7 of you that I've done one-on-ones with just over the phone randomly. So once you download the Ticor Agent One app, this is a net sheet app. I'm gonna guess probably 90% of you should have it on your phones by now, but if you don't, get it on there and call one of us, and we'll also go through one-on-one. Alonzo's going to probably hit a few highlights on it for you. It's being displayed on your screen right now. But if you're doing real estate day to day, there's nothing you're doing that you won't end up using this app somehow, some way. So go ahead, take it away.
Yeah,
Alonzo.
this is something I used on LinkedIn because I feel like LinkedIn's very business oriented. And so I put a lot of rent versus owning on there, and I get a lot of good response from it. And in this market, we all know how many people are paying top dollar for rent that goes nowhere. You know, it's just 100% of your money going nowhere. Why not have a mortgage, even at say 6.5%, or with all the buy down programs that are available out there to your buyers? It's just convincing them to, hey, in this market, I can negotiate the best deal for you. Why are you renting? So there's a big segment of renters out there that need to be owners. And so, like I said before with Joanna, we have data for renters that we could pull up, and it's basically showing them the difference between, say, owning and renting. You know, if they're paying close to $4,000 a month in rent, there's no reason why they shouldn't be buying a piece of property out there. So I like that. So anyway, what I want to also encourage all of you is, let's make a one-on-one appointment and kind of give you the tools that you're going to be able to use in this changing, shifting market, because the market is shifting. And so if we can show you the tools that are going to be appropriate for you to go out and prospect, because it's about prospecting right now. It's about building your sphere and sending your sphere information that they can use and letting them know that you are the professional. And going back to title insurance really quick, I have seen multiple offers now where buyers are paying for the title and escrow fee just to get their offers looked at. And that doesn't mean they're paying full price, but I'm starting to see buyers offering, hey, we'll pay for your title and we'll pay for your escrow. And yes, my offer is less, but you know what? I'm going to take care of your fees. So that's kind of a nugget that we want to give you, that we see out in the marketplace right now when you're out negotiating offers, because it's tough. Inventory is slowly growing, but I always say, expand your markets, everybody. You work everywhere. Escondido. I know people going to Temecula and selling riverside properties. So you want to use that. I work everywhere. I go down to Chula Vista. I go down to Mission Hills, Poway, you know, Rancho Bernardo, Vista, San Marcos. These other areas have more inventory. Like right now, Carlsbad's really, really tight for inventory. So expand your markets, for different areas and go out and kind of familiarize yourself with the community and what you bring to a buyer and to a client right now, because you work with everybody. You got to work with my generation, the baby boomers, because they're getting ready to move. They're getting ready to either move out of state or, make a change, go into assisted living, move in with family. So there's markets out there that you can find a niche at when I say farming, and you've got to pick a farm that's going to give you response where you've got more opportunities to pull a client from. Because if you get listings, I mean, that's really good money, and you can always piggyback on a listing. But like I said, if you're working with buyers right now, hey, we can give you material to prospect for that buyer in neighborhoods they're looking for. And then we also network with a lot of other agents in the marketplace. So consider us your eyes and ears. Send us your buyer needs, whatever needs you may have, and we will go out and kind of work that for you.
Just because we're out in the field quite a bit, we see and come across a lot of different agents. So if you've got a certain buyer, like Alonzo's saying, that you're really hard pressed to find something for, just communicate with us. It's amazing. We probably connect 2 or 3 dots a month, just by word of mouth and seeing what's out there. So
yeah,
I guess,
and like I said, come on in. It's like a real estate doctor appointment. Come on in. We'll kind of review where you're at. And if you're starting, that's great. And we'll kind of help you with tools that you can put in your tool belt that you can use right now and starting in 2023, because there is business out there.
so we're here for you, you guys. I want to thank you on behalf of the 3 of us. Thank you so much for having us. And if there's any questions or you need us.
Anybody have any questions? Anything?
Yeah, now's the time to ask, especially if you're newer and have never had a farm. Now's the
Yeah,
time to
I have
ask.
a-
Or
I have a
someone who
question.
has had a farm. Yeah, go ahead.
So for the Ticor Toolbox, Ticor Lee, and Ticor Tech Farm, those are all each individual logins and we create our own account, or there's like a special account, almost like Agent One that you give us to get in?
Yes.
So Title Toolbox, I'll put a link in the chat. If you want to do the walking farm, I just have to set up an account for you. Ticor Tech Farm as well. I would just do that on the back end for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this actually. Let me just I'm going to put my email in the chat for you. Just shoot me an email. This is Christian, right?
Yep.
That's Christian.
And anyone else, just reach out to me direct today, tomorrow, the next day, and I will get you going on any tools you want to check out. And then we can do a Zoom call to just kind of do that kind of one-on-one overview for you.
Awesome.
Everybody else good? Yeah, hello.
Do you happen to have those title insurance sheets, informational sheets that you had earlier in the presentation that you can send out to us?
What we can also do is send the PDF on the buyer seller guide. That might be a good.
I put some
resource for 'em.
I put some on your table out there. So
Okay.
go to the table behind Ashley over there and you'll see them. There's
Okay.
some buyer seller guides. There's how to read a prelim, 7 reasons you need title insurance. But like I said, that information is there for you. We really, really encourage you to meet with us. We
And
want to meet with you.
Yeah, for sure. And we can send the PDF for the buyer seller guide that Alonzo just mentioned to Ashley, and she can send it out to everyone as well if you want electronic.
Yeah.
All right.
It's available electronically.
So thanks for having us, you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
guys.
for
Thank
coming
you.
on. I would
Yeah.
highly encourage you
Thank
guys to
you.
tap into this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.